G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with Mags. So, I've got a couple of things going on over the next couple of days that are going to prevent me from being able to stream, but that does not mean that I want to stop actually playing the game. So, we're going to be, as I mentioned in the previous stream, doing a couple of videos, or potentially doing a couple of videos, where these are going to be recorded, post-commentary, and edited down. So, that's what we're up to today. So, where we left off in the last stream, we were given a quest from the miller to steal a document from down here in Troskowitz. Now, they kind of want to put me in prison down there, and I do not want to do the theft, considering I got to break into the bailiffs, until after dark. So I've got a little bit of time to kill here in town first. So what I'm going to do, well, apparently I'm already clean enough. Jesus Christ, what I'm going to do is a little bit of blacksmithing, and then see if there's any other tasks that I can do around town just to kill time until the sun sets. And once I've managed to do that, then we'll sneak down and see what we can do.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
Go easy.
What do you have for sale?
Alright, so there's nothing in here we can really afford to buy for the moment. But what we're after is some scrap, so we can get a little bit of blacksmithing done and boost some skills while we're waiting for the sunset.
Saturn and Jupiter are in a bad constellation at the moment.
Alright, so a couple of blades and a couple of axes forged, which we can now sell off. Quick bit of a wash to make ourselves presentable, and then up to the tavern so we can have ourselves a meal and play a game of dice just to finish out the day.
A blessed evening to you.
I'd like to play dice. Care for a roll or two?
What game would you like to play?
Masters!
Let's play.
Why did I even agree to this? I'm going to lose my money again.
One beer.
No harm done. No
now
harm
I can
done.
die in peace.
It wasn't
I've
very
truly
good
seen
anyway.
everything.
You shouldn't be walking
Finally,
around without
some
If
luck.
you were smart, you wouldn't be so stupid.
Yeah, I got my ass fleeced for 50 groschen.
Aren't those dice sad? You're just letting them sit there.
Yep, and they can stay sitting there as well. So, we've got stuff to do. So on the way out of town, I actually got a little bit lost and wound up in the forest off the road a little bit trying to find my way back and came across this point. So I'll put this up on screen in just a second. Small little hidden site. Now there's a blacksmith kit, which I've just picked up, but that wasn't the only thing here. Just alongside was this treasure chest. Pretty simple lock to unlock. Inside, a couple of pieces of clothing, some potions, and some groschen as well, but most importantly, we have a skill book. So location-wise, it's in the forest just outside of Tashov, almost directly east of the blacksmith. Sneaky, sneaky. That's the guard on patrol.
What a night.
Should have been paying more attention, buddy. Got to remember to turn off those goddamn tutorials. store. Didn't know. That'll explain why there's a guard. Oh, really? Right, mace, knight shield. Oh, the armor, finally. And we have another skill book. Nothing else in here as far as I can see. But that looks like it leads in underneath where we need to go. So close is always a lock and open. We got keys off the guard.
The offer of Hermes Trismegistos. That's Krazel's document.
Oh wow, I wasn't expecting it to be in here. I thought it would be upstairs where the scribe's room is. Just prison cells. Not leaving now. We're going to go up and have a look, so I want to get into that scribe's room. Yeah, thought so. Still feel like I'm making so much noise going through here, but nobody's waking up. Fuck! Oh. Food. Alright. They want to lock me up, they can provide me with a meal for it. It's a whole stack of skill books. I was sort of hoping I'd find something like this up in here. What's this one? Somebody outside. Blacksmithing design. That looks like about all we have in here. There's two of them in there. I only noticed one before. I can't let these guys see me because they still want to lock me up here, so they'll go after me on sight and... Oh, shh. There was no guards here before when I came in, now there's 2 of them. Shit, how many level ups are we going to get? Alright, looks like we are clear. That was clean. I wasn't expecting the document to be downstairs, but I am... Shit. Yeah, we're not taking the road. We will go across the paddocks until we're well away from the town. Alright, so after a reasonably successful raid there, it was time to go through our ill-gotten goods and see exactly what we managed to pick up. So we're actually carrying far too much stuff at the moment. We're well overburdened. We're not going to be able to sprint. We can't even mount a horse, even if we had one. And we've got a fairly long walk back to the mill. That being said, I don't want to get rid of anything that I've got here. A lot of this stuff is stolen, but it will clear out over time. And I have been worried and been having issues in fighting because I just don't have enough armor. Well, that's kind of solved now. That guard was very well equipped. And we also got a bunch of skill books as well that we can potentially take advantage of. There's also quite a bit of gold that we've got inside of the inside of the clothing that we found. And let's be honest here, I needed every single last bit of groschen that I can get my hands on. So after a little bit of a sorting out, putting together my new armor sets and going through and working out what clothes would be best for my other sets as well, because there are 3 clothing sets you can set up in Kingdom Come Deliverance too. I've got them set up for a sort of a common set that's very charisma based for discussing with people around town. One set that's obviously my combat set, and one set that is my stealth set, which is what I was wearing when I just raided that place. Going through, sorting out which parts I'm going to keep and which parts aren't. I actually really like the UI for this as well. It's very easy to understand. And then as soon as I can find a place to sell this stuff off, we'll be selling it off. On the upside is the millers, who I need to take the quest item back to, is not far from the gypsy camp, which is where our traders are that will actually deal in stolen goods. Not worried about the food being stolen. I can deal with that myself. So we managed to make it most of the way to the mill with no problems until just outside of the miller's, well, mill, we run into this guy, a bandit trying to set up an ambush on the side of the road by standing in a bush, holding a torch directly over his head in the middle of the night. Not the brightest boy, but I've got a little something for him. Also not the most observant bandit, considering I'm sneaking up on him and I'm still wearing all of my plate pieces and mail pieces that I've just stolen. I also realized I didn't have my dagger equipped, so quickly sort that one out so I can sort this bandit out. And like that, the problem's gone. Now, I'm already over encumbered at this point in time. I'm not far from the millers, so I'm just going to loot this bandit for everything that he has, regardless of its value. We'll sort it out once I'm at the millers, and I start needing to sort out all the equipment that I'm carrying, what I'm keeping, what I'm cleaning, and what's going to be generating me groschen. So we got another night shield. Nothing particularly useful here, although the bandages are nice. It's nice to have those around, and we don't have many of them. So, moving on. And so we find our way finally back to the mill right before sunrise. Now at this point everybody's still sleeping. I am getting on the tired side myself. Not going to bother waking anybody up. We're going to go upstairs, we're going to catch some Z's and get a slave, and then we'll come out and find the miller to hand him his scroll and find out if there's anything else he wants us to do. Or at the very least, maybe what this is all about. So next morning, after a spot of stolen bacon for breakfast, I figured we'll take a quick look at the book before we handed it over to the miller. And I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at here. Yeah, that's just gibberish to me. But fair enough. We're going to hand it over to him anyway. But I needed to check to see if there was anything that I could actually use. And so the final stop in our quest, the miller.
Good morning to you.
I have that document from the Rathaus for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
I took a look at the document. I couldn't really make much of it. Who's this Hermes Trismegistos?
My fifth cousin. We write to each other sometimes.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
Did you find my family tree at the Rathaus, too? Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge.
Love how there's no question about me still being half-coated in blood.
Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes. Of course.
What now?
That much? We're going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semin.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
Oh, why am I not surprised?
You promised you'd get me into that wedding.
I did, but I didn't say when. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. It's high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I wouldn't be so sure, but I've taken you on as an apprentice, so I might as well tell you something. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices in theurgy, bring him to life.
Oh, the church would love to know about this.
A golem, you say? Isn't that a kind of pie? What are you going to do with a living pie?
Henry, a golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish Kabbals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
You're trying to play God? You know they could burn you at the stake for something like that. It's witchcraft.
Ah, horseshit. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. And Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees. And all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now? I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
Oh, almost paid back my losses and a skill book.
I don't know, Crazel. Alchemy, golems, documents in locked chests. I reckon I've had enough.
To be clear, I'm cool
I'll
with
have
the
to think
documents
about whether I
locked
want to
chests.
continue with this art of yours.
I get it. The greater good of mankind isn't everyone's goal. But don't forget, I can get you to that wedding. Miller's honor.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure you have any of that, and I do have some other options. So whose horse is this? Ah. I need to solve my overloaded problem before I can go horse thieving. My Henry's really not turning out to be the honourable fighter that I originally intended, is he? Although, to be fair, the original one did do a little bit of cutthroating as well, so I might not be too far off the bead here. Anyways, ladies and gents, I'm going to bring this one to a close. I'm going to continue on and record up the next mission set, and I think the next one's... Well, there was a mention before about Pebbles, or a potential horse that could be Pebbles, back in the town in Sameen. Otherwise, we have to go and find Mutt. So I think Mutt's going to be our next immediate target, although I'm going to have a sniff around Sameen. We'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.